If you're a student right now who is undergoing a lot of past papers and you do not know how to manage those, whether you are a GCSE A-level undergraduate or even a postgraduate student, then this video is definitely for you, because once upon a time when I was a student myself, it was very hard for me to actually manage a lot of past papers from years and years. Let's suppose if you're doing past papers of 20 years for each subject and you have 10 subjects, that's basically going through 200 past papers for that specific year, and this can be very overwhelming and something that you do not want obviously lingering in your head. When did you last what past paper, what did you learn from what and when, what do you have to work on, and so on and so forth. So it's very time consuming process for you to actually remember all of those things, when you can be using that energy to actually build something else, or conserving your energy for other things that are much more important and much more productive for you to actually do in that moment in time. And as a student myself who has wasted a lot of time doing that and trying to manage a lot of past papers, and every time I would do a past paper, I would just feel so demotivated, and because I would be getting a lower score than I expected, or I would be getting all C's and D's, which are the average grades in London, UK education system. So that would put me off a lot to actually do a lot of past papers, and that would not really motivate me at all in a way. And that has definitely caused me to actually put off a lot of past papers when I was in GCSEs and A-levels, especially because I didn't know how to organize all of that. And this is when I really struggled getting the best grades, and hence why that reflected on my results as well for my GCSEs and A-levels, and I didn't do the best that I could have with my own potentiality and the intelligence level that I have. But now that I am, a undergraduate or even a postgraduate, everything, I'm a graduate basically from university. Now that I've gathered all of that, now that I've got a first class honors in my law LLB honors degree, which I have completed in 2020, and I also completed my postgraduate diploma, which was a legal practice course in London, UK, from City University of London. I have gathered a lot of knowledge of what it takes to make sure that all of your past papers and practice questions are all organized and really well put down, and hence why I've created this particular product, which is known as the Productive Past Paper Planner with 30 amplified affirmations. And this is something that I'm creating from the bottom of my heart, because if I have a daughter right now, if I have a son right now, or a friend's daughter or son, or even a sister or a brother, little brother or something like that, and they were undergoing the GCSEs and A-levels or any other degree level for that matter, I would definitely give them this particular planner that I basically created myself. And I have started working on this from the past 2 weeks, and I've not announced it because I wanted to make sure it is something that it is completely irreplaceable and something that you've never seen before, but is actually going to be effective and productive for you as well. And hence why I put the name Productive Past Paper Planner, because nowadays is a planner for everything, literally, like from fitness to to-do lists and all this, and even Notion, all these kind of stuff are going on, but there's nothing for past papers, and that is very bothering me. And hence why I have decided to be the first one and be the leader on this and create my own spin on it. So now you might say that, oh, what makes it so different from all the other things that I've seen in terms of revision and everything like that? This is completely unique because this comes with 30 amplified affirmations, which are going to be extremely helpful for you and self-confidence boosting, because every time you do a past paper, you might feel like that you are not doing enough, and you might have negative thoughts brewing in your head, and that might actually make you put off from actually doing past papers that you actually have to do for your revision purposes. And this is why the 30 affirmations are completely life-changing, completely magical, and they're going to be very good for your self-esteem and confidence when it comes to answering questions in past papers, especially if you're getting lower grades than you expect. These 30 affirmations will instantly boost your energy, and they can come in an audio version from me, or they can come in a PDF guide version with the planner. And the planner is set out in such a way that it's going to be useful for you for the next how many years you have to complete that particular part of your life. So if you're a GCSE student, for example, I'll be providing you a planner for the next 3 years, so starting from year 9 till year 10, year 11, unless you're a student who wants to start from year 7 to year 11, that I can do that for you as well if you want to. You just have to specify that in your email that you might want to send it to me at fazanaslaw@gmail.com regarding this. If you're an A-level student, for example, then you might get a 2-year planner, which is year 12 and year 13, which is completely customizable to your subjects. And I'm guessing that all of the students out there don't go no more than 10 subjects or 10 modules. But if you have someone who has more than 10 subjects or 10 modules in that particular year, then you can always tell me, and then I can make the calendar or planner for you accordingly. And if you're an undergraduate student, and it obviously depends on your degree as well, so if you're doing medicine and you need 5-year planner, I can do that for you as well. But if you're somebody like me who did the undergraduate for 3 years, then I can provide you with a 3-year planner. And then additionally, if you're looking to do a postgraduate, then I can also provide that as well, depending on how many years you're going to be doing that. So as you can see, that as long as you provide me with all the knowledge and the information, which is what grade are you in right now, so as in what course you're doing right now. So if you're doing GCSE, you have to let me know that, and how many years of planner do you want. And this is completely digital, so if you're looking for a paper version of that, it's not available right now. But digital, I feel like that you can carry with you anywhere and everywhere, and as long as you have a phone or a computer, this can be very good for you. And this is completely portable, and it's something that is going to be fuzz free. Like, it doesn't have to be something that makes you distracted throughout the day, and it's something that will bring you closer to your grades as much as possible. And I feel like that this productive past paper planner is something that I wish I had when I was a kid myself, when I was doing my GCSEs and A-levels, and I could not really manage to do that because I feel like that it was something very daunting, and I was always skipping past papers as a revision because it was so overwhelming for me to see all those past papers and not be able to manage. And I did not have the maturity to understand that sometimes you need to have something that is next to you that guides you, like where you at and what past papers did you lose marks on and everything like that. But obviously you don't have the intelligence yet when you're 14, 15, 16 years old. But as someone who is in her 20s and has gone through, I don't know how many years of education, of 20 years of education, I would say, I can definitely tell you that this planner provides everything that you need in terms of reflection, in terms of making sure that you give yourself reminders and on when to do what past paper when, and so on and so forth. So it is completely good. And just for I have not priced it yet, but it is going to be super duper affordable. It is definitely less than £10. You're getting a lot of work for the worth that you're basically paying for. So under less than £10, you're getting a lot of work, basically a lot of help for yourself for the next few years of your education life, which are probably the most important years of your life as a student, going to GCSE, A-level, degree, and so on and so forth. So until you finish your education, this is going to be definitely helpful for you. And I hope to expand this plan as much as I can. And I have a lot more products that are coming up in my head, thanks to Allah. He's giving me a lot of ideas on how to help students effectively, because I definitely help people with my videos, and people do watch my videos and everything, and I find it super duper helpful. It might not reflect on the subscriber numbers or the viewership, but I promise that many people do email me every single daily basis for help, and they're just very supportive, kind people who do watch my videos out there. And I feel very, very grateful to Allah for this, because this is what I was born to do. This is what I was born to serve people in this world, especially starting off from people who are the youngest generation and then going up, because I feel like that students, if you can train students well, or people in that age category, then the next generation is going to be better and better, because they are the next generation, in fact. So if you train people from a very young age how to do things well, how to build good habits, and how to get skills installed in them from a very young age, they can pass it on to their kids, and so on and so forth. So I think that this is where my starting point is. I never thought in a million years that when I started this YouTube channel 3 years ago that I will be now launching products. Like it just blows my mind, because I remember when I was in my last year on my Law LLB Honours, I just wanted to do this as a thing where I wanted to help people achieve first class honours, and that's it. But now it's becoming much more than that for me. It's much more purposeful. And you may have noticed that I did not upload a lot of videos in between in some of the months, because I was extremely busy with my personal life and personal career goals and everything like that. But now I'm full back and strong, and sometimes it is good to take a break from things that you literally do love and give it a distance, so that you can actually process what's going on. What do you want to do with that thing, with that particular goal and thing that you have in your hand? And hence why I created this product. There's no other reason why. There's no really point of me creating this for myself because I've already graduated. I got the best grade in the world, alhamdulillah, and I'm so blessed and everything. I can just leave this and, you know, just live my life and everything like that. But that does not rest my body, that does not rest my soul, keeping everything on my own and keeping it all selfishly to myself and not serving the people. I feel like that students can definitely help with, will get a lot of help when it comes to these time management skills. Time management is very, very important as a student. I cannot stress it enough. And hence why this automated planner version of past paper tracking is amazing. It's going to be life-changing for you, and it is definitely under £10. Don't worry, I won't go above that. And it is super duper affordable, and you can, if you can spend literally £2-3 on, I don't know, really useless things, then this is a good investment as a kid. As a teenager, this can be the best investment you can do on yourself and in your education life. The one single best thing ever. Obviously books are very helpful, but let's be honest, we all know that the secret to getting best grades are past papers, and you need to know how to manage them basically. And when you have 10 subjects or more, or 10 modules or more for each, you definitely need this, I promise. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you want a copy of my productive past paper planner with 30 affirmations or 30 amplified affirmations, then please do email me at fazanaslu@gmail.com. Let me know what grade are you on. So are you a GCSE, A-level, you know, undergraduate, postgraduate student, and how many subjects you have. That can also help me. Then I can make this planner according to your own needs. I'm going to be very customized basically for you. And yeah, and I again definitely promise it's less than £10. You're getting a lot of worth of things planning for yourself, and it's going to be definitely worthwhile. They're under the £10 basically. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in my next week's video, which is going to be another productive video.